Do you consider yourself or does your child consider themselves a bad test taker? If so, you are not alone. We talk to so many parents and kids on the phone about them being bad test takers, and it really stresses them out when they get to the SAT or the ACT for test prep. This video is a very practical guide of how you can help overcome that bad test taking and real solutions that consistently work for our students. So make sure you stay till the end so that you get all these details so that you can increase or improve your SAT or ACT score. Tip number one sounds so simple, it just sounds stupid. So hear me out on this one. Tip number one is to actually learn the test. And you're like, well, duh, that's what test prep. The problem is a lot of kids will just get in a cycle of, oh, they don't know how to study for the test, or they feel like even if they study, they're still a bad test taker. But the thing is, no matter what test you take or no matter what you are studying for, if you do not know what is going to be on the test, you're going to be a bad test taker no matter what. So one of our key things that we always focus on in the beginning is just actually knowing what's on the test. You cannot improve your test scores if you know nothing about what is in the material. And honestly, your stress and anxiety levels will decrease significantly. Number two is something that we use for all students, but it really helps our students that are really tough on themselves or feel like they are bad test takers or consistently perform lower on tests. It's simple. It's just giving yourself time to practice. Now, I'm not saying you go sit down and take a whole practice test, take a whole Saturday morning. That takes forever. No, we work in our company with very strategic timed intervals. For example, I had a student who was really struggling with the reading section. They were feeling defeated, they want to give up, and they just felt like they were a bad test taker. So what we did instead is we sat down and we slapped on a 10-minute timer. We gave them one reading passage, which is now the correct timing, and we had them do the passage, we graded, and then saw that they got 9 out of 9 questions correct. And then we rinsed and repeated that. Building up their confidence and actually practicing in the correct time increments without like doing a whole practice test is a really good way to, one, improve someone's score, and two, improve their confidence. Number three, if you are a bad test taker, is plan to take the test more than once. Now, this is something that we recommend consistently if possible. If you can take that planned test, either the SAT or the ACT, twice, you will statistically improve between the tests, even if you do zero prep between those two tests. And the reason is you are getting more comfortable with the format. So if you feel like you're a bad test taker, might as well put all the balls in your court and take it more than once so you are more likely to get that higher score. Number four is find a buddy or a friend. So this can look in very different ways. This can be studying with a friend on test prep. This can be studying with a paid tutor. And if you need tutors, we have plenty, and I'll link our website down below if you need some help. But regardless, using ChatGPT to study can be effective, but it doesn't really help improve the kids that are saying that they're bad test takers. What helps with the quote unquote bad test takers is actually talking about the test. There is a lot of fruit in just being able to discuss the test material and also have a motivator to study. So if you feel like your test score is not moving, but you start studying with a friend and you guys consistently talk about why this question is right or wrong, you will naturally increase your score if you put the work in. And then number five is probably really cheesy, but it helps a good bit. And it's your mindset. If you go in to a test telling yourself, or your child is telling themselves, I am a bad test taker, they're more likely to perform lower. You need to work on that positive self-talk, and there's so much research showing this, that you're not lying to yourself, but you're not also beating yourself down. You are encouraging yourself that you're going to put your best foot forward, that you prepared for the test, and that you can do it. The more crap that you talk to yourself about how you're going to perform on the test, it's going to come true. So in all, fixing or helping someone tackle the SAT or the ACT, even if they're a bad test taker, is possible. We have done this so many times. I cannot encourage you enough. If you need help, please consider reaching out. Our link is below with our test prep services, but regardless, get yourself a buddy, encourage yourself, and stay focused. If you found this video helpful, or you have any other tips and tricks that you would love to share, please drop them in the comments and we'll be replying back.